Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome. We are going to be doing some Mod Podging tonight. And I showed you these little napkins a few days ago, so I'm going to try to do something cute with them. I am Pam Savage with Young at Heart Creations. And when you hop on, tell me hello so I know that we've got everything up and going. Let me get you pulled up here on my iPad. It's been a busy day. Tell me hello. I hope your day's been going great. If I can get your comments pulled up here. There we go. Hi, Miss Jean. Okay. I left the house this morning for my class that I take once a month with the Wildflowers of Texoma chapter here in our local area. And on my way to work yesterday or Saturday, I think it was nearly 80 degrees. And this morning it was sleeting and snowing when I left. And we're supposed to get some more snow Friday. And they said we could have some that would stick Friday, but then it should be gone Saturday. So it was snowing, sleeting, and thundering this morning all at the same time when I was on my way to class. This is what I'm working on in that class. Still have several details to put on it. The fur is just base coated. It'll have a light color on it and it'll look like fur on the glove. But I don't know if you can see that or not, but look at all the little details. Still got to put the face and the details on the teddy bear. Let's see, what else do I have to do? I don't know. I'll have to look at the pattern to see what all. Not a lot is left, but still quite a few little details that got to put on there. But it was definitely challenging. I am really good if I can sit here with my instructions and go step by step by myself. But in these classes, these ladies have been doing this. Some of them have been in there for 20-something years. I know, because they were at the craft show. When I first started the craft show, they were some of my vendors. So they know what they're doing. They know, I think of them more as artists, being in art classes, not craft classes, because they'll be talking about the paint value, the color value, and all this different stuff. And I'm going, I just know it's darker than the lighter one. And it's you can paint at your own pace, but the instructors, they know they're ladies, and their ladies have been doing this so long. They can say a term and they know exactly what she's talking about. And so they can, there was one lady that could paint like 3 of these in the time that I just got this much done. So it is a very fast-paced class, and you all know me. I am not a fast painter, so it is a struggle. But I'm loving it. I am learning so much. One of the things I learned about was neon fiery red paint. So on a red, the highlights in the center of this, in the center of his jacket, is a neon fiery red. Northeast Georgia, are y'all getting any snow? And I also learned that there is a soft black and then a black. So soft black is it's not a gray, but it's not a black. It's a very soft, it's not harsh like if you just used black, regular black. So I'm learning a lot. It is definitely pushing me outside of my comfort zone, but I'm learning a lot that I hope I can pass along to you guys. So I usually will float their or shade their faces in a kind of a rose color maybe. This underneath his hat, I don't know if you can see it, but it is floated in burnt sienna, Deco Art burnt sienna. And that's what this lady does all of her faces with. So that's something I've not done before, and I like it. So highlights, like on the stocking, see how it looks like light is really shining off of it. Just some simple little techniques like that. So anyway, fun. It was a busy day. And then we had another quick little one that I consider a flop on my part. I did not get the pattern traced on correctly. And so mine's a little wompy jawed, I guess you would say. I don't know. And it's also on a rough piece of wood, but hopefully you can at least tell what it is. I don't have his fur on yet, so I think that'll make a difference when I get his fur on. But it now to you, that might look really, really cute. Still have details to put on him, but compared to the other ladies, theirs definitely look like a stuffed teddy bear sitting there. Mine looks like maybe a stuffed animal waiting for surgery. I don't know. He needs some help on his arm here. And so I got to look at it and I traced the pattern wrong. So, you know, I make flops too, but I'm going to fix him. And it was fun. I learned some things on him. So, so there you go. But anyway, as soon as I finished what I could get done on him, I quickly stuck him in the bag and put him in my bag. I did not have him on display, but I had fun with him. Hi, Cindy. So he was fun. So tonight we are going to do some, I wanted to use these little napkins with the little chicks. I just think they're so cute, and I've just been dying to do something with them. We're going to use a Dollar Tree egg. I've looked everywhere for these eggs. And rabbits and chicks, and ours did not have them. I finally found one about an hour from here. I had to take my nephew home Sunday, so I stopped by their Dollar Tree and they had some, but it's a different wood. Now this wood that I got last year that I've been doing these rabbits with, it's I don't know if it tells what kind of wood on here that it is, but it's like, I mean, it is wood. I mean, it's thin, but it is a pine wood. Just a very thin veneer pine wood. This that they had out this year, it's kind of more like a pressed wood, maybe MDF. I'm not sure, but on the other side, it's got, I don't know if you can see all those little ridges and things. It's almost like siding from a house. And this one was pretty good. Now that's a little, not real rough on this one, but some of them were. I went ahead and got them anyway. Like this one, and most of these were this way. Like on this side, see how roughed up it is? That veneer or whatever it is coming off. So I will probably not, I will use that as the back and then use this as the front. So they were $1.25. So, you know, check out your Dollar Tree. They may have them. Just look at them and, you know, make sure what you're getting. I mean, it's more like pressed paper. I'm just not really sure what it is. I mean, it's good and sturdy, but the veneer that they put on some of these are coming off. But we're going to use, since we're going to be Mod Podging, I'm not going to be real picky. I am going to go ahead and put a coat of white on it. Because this has some gray tone in it, and I'm afraid that's going to come across, come through the napkin. So let's go ahead and get a coat of white on here. And I'm just using Delta Ceramcoat White. That's my favorite. It just seems to cover better for me. Oops, I'm slinging it everywhere. Normally, I don't eat supper until after I do my lives on Tuesdays. But I had not had breakfast or lunch. So I went ahead and ate, and now I'm like, ugh, I'm stuffed. Stuffed. Okay, you can definitely see the difference in the tone. This is more of a gray, and I want that the napkin colors to come through really well. So, I'm going to go ahead and give it this coat of white. Whatever color you put under the napkin, that's what's going to show up on it. And since this is such a light color, I think we can get away with probably just one coat. And I noticed I did not put an apron on. So I'm just going to go with it and keep my fingers crossed. I'm going to post some pictures after the live sometime tonight. The place that I am taking my classes for these items that these projects that I've been doing, it is the same building that we will be having our my paint party in. That we're going to do the boxes on there. And time is running out on sign-ups. I have 18 seats. I would like to get at least 10 persons, 10 ladies, 10 painters to be able to go ahead and have it. Right now I have several, yes, I'm going to sign up, yes, I'm going to sign up, but they haven't actually signed up yet. So I'm not going to count them. So we have 3 official that have registered and paid and are raring to go. So I hope you'll consider it. I know it's a work day for a lot of people. Let me go ahead and dry that. And I am going to put one more little coat on it. But I'm surprised at how many painters we have in this area that are retired or work part-time or can take a day off and just come and paint with us. So I'll put pictures of the room that we'll be in, and the ladies that were painting today, and one of the first classes. They are so much fun, and it's just, the room is just big enough that you've got plenty of room, but it's close enough that we all get to visit. So it's really just a great little situation. Okay, so I'm just going to empty out my brush with what I've got here on the plate. And just get that one last coat on there. We're going to have to do some, I guess you would call it piecemealing. Cut some portions out of the napkin and use it in a different spot just to kind of fill in the areas. Okay, I'm going to let that dry because I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of these little eggs while I've got it all out. Okay, that white is going to have to be cleaned up. It is getting all over me. It's got a piece on the lid that's making the paint go the opposite direction of what I want it to go in. Okay, so these are just little, these came in a package of, I think, 8 at the Dollar Tree. So it was like 8 eggs, 6 or 8, I don't remember. 6 or 8 of the eggs in a package. So I thought while we had all this out, I would just go ahead and put some of my remnants that we had left over the other night. Get those edges. They announced at church, and I had not even thought about it, but this coming weekend is daylight savings time. So we lose an hour of sleep, but it's worth it to me because that means the days are getting longer. I don't like it when it's 5:30 outside and it looks like it's midnight. But I noticed that the days are getting longer because normally on Sunday nights when we get out of church at 6, it's already pitch dark, and it was not this Sunday night. There was still some daylight left, so I was thrilled to hear that. Okay, so we'll let those dry. Hi, Miss Heather. I know. I love it when we get the longer days. I don't like it when it goes the opposite direction and our days get shorter. Not crazy about that. Okay, I'm going to dry this just a little more. Looks like we need a little more up top here. Whoops, wrong one. I had two brushes just to like out, one for Mod Podging and one for painting. We had a lot of fun at our birthday celebration. We had it here at our house. All of our kiddos got to come. All but one. My daughter will be coming home from Washington. I believe she's in D.C. Visiting some friends. Okay, I noticed that still didn't cover real well, so I want to kind of soaked it in a little bit. All right, that should do it. So, I've been working on Christmas for the class that I was doing. Teddy bears, spring, and Easter stuff. So I've got like about 3 different seasons going here in my craft room. Okay, I think those will be okay. Okay, so now I need to decide where I'm going to put the placement of these. Aren't they cute? I wish they would have gone all the way across with the flowers. You know, flowers here. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to get this put on, and I think once I get it put on, I'll cut some of the flowers from this bottom one and see if we can kind of fill it in there. And then we'll maybe add some butterflies or something to it. So let's go ahead and get started here. Now what I did, I went ahead and turned it over and just traced with a pencil on there the oval. And so I'm going to cut just a little bit outside of that line that I've traced out to make sure that we have enough to go around, and then we'll take the rest of it off that we don't need. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth because we're going to do away with the excess. Myla Ray, the full of energy grand dog, will be here one day next week, and then we're going to have her for 9 days. She's such a sweetheart, but she is a handful. She still has a lot of puppy in her, full of energy. I told her last time I was ready for her to become an old woman like me. She still wants to play fetch. And sometimes she gets into things she's not supposed to, but when she does, she comes and tells on herself. You know that she's done something. If she comes to you and gives you this certain little whine that you know, okay, what have you done? And she'll usually take you and show you. Most of the time, it's she's found some socks. She is a sock fanatic. Okay, so we're going to go up just a little more there. Okay, so these are napkins. So we have to be, make sure that we take the layers off. Most napkins have anywhere from 2 to 4 plies. So you want to make sure you separate each ply. And I just get my fingers a little bit sticky. Just kind of lick them a little bit. And it usually comes right up. Now this one, all of the plies came up at once, but you can see that this is a 3-ply. There's 1, 2, and then your top layer. If you don't separate them, your top layer will most likely separate once you've finished your piece, and you'll think you have it all done. It'll start separating. Now if I painted this green under here, green would be showing instead of where the white is. So you want to be aware of that. Whatever color you put underneath it, that's the color it's going to pick up. Now that looks like it's just, that's the last ply, but I'm just going to make sure. Yes, that was the last ply. Okay, so we want to put some Mod Podge on it to get it going. I use the matte finish Mod Podge. I don't care for the gloss. I don't like, it stays tacky. It just never really completely dries. So I use the matte Mod Podge. I like the big jars because I can get my large brushes in them. And you can water your Mod Podge down a little bit to get it a little thinner if you want. I'm fine using it thick, but with these napkins, it does make it a little more challenging when it's thick. If you have to, like, maybe try to lift your napkin and make it larger. And move it around. You want to be sure and get those edges all the way out to the edge. Okay, so I can tell it's covered because it's all shiny where it's wet. So on this edge right here. All right, let's see if we can get this laid down without having to move it. I want to get as much of the chickens, the little chicks on there as I can. Going outward, just kind of, you want to be careful because it can tear. Now you can do the ironing process, and that will pull some of your wrinkles out. Okay, I'm going to go through where it's lifting and just put some more right under it. I go all the way around and just make sure that those edges are catching. Oh, it's cute. Such a cute little pattern. Okay, I'm using a chipped brush, starting from the center and going out to get rid of some of those air bubbles. Now the iron process, you would not have many wrinkles at all with it, but the wrinkles really don't bother me. My hubby had to run into town. He was nearly out of milk. And I noticed he left the TV going pretty loud, so I apologize if y'all can hear that. And it's really, I think he's got it on news. Okay, I'm just pressing a few of those bubbles out. Okay, so that stuck pretty good. I'm going to let that dry for just a minute while I work on cutting us out some flowers to go here in the center. Now we could put, I thought about even cutting this little, well, if I get hold of it. You know, we had the bunny left over from the one we did the other day. I even thought about cutting around the bunny and putting the little bunny in the middle, but I decided I didn't quite like that. So we're going to try to do some piecemeal in here. All right, let's take from this area right here. Put that aside and save it. And I'm just going to take just the center ones. And then we're going to wet it and pull it apart so that it doesn't look like it's just been cut with a pair of scissors. And to do that, I'm just going to take a small, this one's a flat brush. You could use round, oval, it really doesn't matter. So while that's drying, we're just going to go right around the edges, get them wet, and then we're just going to pull. See, did you get in on the Amazon sale when they had the larger bottles on sale? No, of Mod Podge, Peggy? I did not. How did I miss that? Because these are expensive, these bigger ones. I mean, they last me a really long time, but they are definitely not cheap. I haven't priced them lately since everything's gone up. So let's see, I was paying like $8 for them. Okay, now I got that wet and I'm just pulling it, pinching it away with my fingernails. Just so it's going to kind of blend in. And we have not separated this one yet. So I need to separate the plies before I add it on. Boy, that was a good price. Was there a limit to how many you could get on Amazon? I didn't even see anything posted on Facebook about it. I usually get it at Walmart, but they had been out for weeks and they finally got some in. All right, still just pinching it off there. And we'll see, we may have to take a little more off depending on where the patterns end up hitting. Now, before I forget, I licked my fingers a little bit and I need to pull the ply off. 1, 2. Let's see if we can get them both at once. Yay. Okay, so I think I'm going to do away with this little chick here on the side and just go with the one in the middle. Now I have to be more careful because I've separated the plies, so it's going to tear really easily. Okay, I think that's going to work out great. Okay, let me get a little Mod Podge on it. Got him a little crooked. Okay, take the chip brush. It didn't go quite far enough, so I'm going to add just a little bit more. All right, it's kind of like it's just always been there. Got a little bit of bubbling because I put that Mod Podge on before the bottom layer was dry. But see how nicely that just worked right in there from the other section? Now you can see a little bit of the polka dots on that one, but I can take some yellow. See the polka dots showing through from the other napkin? But I can take some yellow and you'll never know it. Okay, so let's take our, just going to use an emery board like I would use on my fingernails. It's dry enough now. We're going to go around the edge while this is still drying in a downward motion. And it should just come right off. You just want to give it a few minutes to dry. It doesn't do well if it's still wet. Nice clean edge. This is still just a little bit wet down here where I just added that piece, but I think I can get away with it. Pull down. You don't want to pull up. If you pull up, it's going to pull your napkin off of the wood. And those scraps are too little to really use for anything. And it's that quick. Now I do have the little hole. I'm going to go ahead and poke through it. I don't know that we'll use the hole. I may put a button or something over it. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Pretty. It's a really pretty green. It's a sagey green. Now you could come through underneath here. Really didn't think about it, or I would have gotten some, but could put some a ruffle behind it, some lace behind it, just all kinds of things you could put, behind it to dress it up a little bit. Also have, now these are not the right colors, but I would need to make a bow to match it, but in a smaller one, maybe a little bit smaller one. But how cute would that be with a pretty bow on it? Okay, but let's see if we want a butterfly. See what colors we've got here. Okay, that kind of pulls out the pink. Let's go with this one. That's why I never throw my napkins away when I get finished with them. If they've got anything left on them at all, I will use them for other pieces. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, just get it wet just around the edges. You don't want it bleeding into the whole napkin because you don't want your print, you don't want your picture to. Now this has got the antennas on it, but you know what? I'm not even going to worry about those. I'm just going to make sure I leave the head on, because if I want to, I can even just paint some of those on. Sorry, not holding it in the camera very well. I do have more of a voice than I have still. Still have my hoarse moments though, especially in church when I'm trying to sing. Typically I'm a soprano, but I've been bass, alto, and soprano all in the same stanza. All right, clipped a little bit of the edge of that wing off, but not enough that it's going to really matter. Now this might be a little bit harder if you don't have some fingernails. I guess you could take tweezers maybe. I don't know. I've got just enough fingernail that it works for me. Okay, now I have not separated this one yet. I've got Mod Podge on my fingers. There we go. Okay, that was a 3-ply also. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can put that one there. See if we want another one. I think we do. Let's go with this little guy. Now the one we did last week, I used the butterflies off of a thank you card. They were just a little bit thicker, but you can Mod Podge just about anything. And the reason I'm doing this is just to give it a soft edge, not a harsh, straight edge. It kind of blends in better with if you're putting it over an existing napkin. I am just chunking that brush over there. I'm still in paint class mode. It's okay. Who's on step 5? Where are we going? Wait, I'm just on step 2. Okay, I think that's enough of it. Separate those plies. And we'll put him maybe right up here. Okay, so we've got to have some Mod Podge. A little more under the tip there. Okay, I'll put this one a little closer to the flowers. Okay, isn't that pretty? And then if you put something behind the edge here, you know, that could really bring out some more color. I will go over this just a little bit with yellow. It's not dry enough right now, but I'll go over these little flowers where the napkin underneath it is showing through. And then I will probably end up making a bow that matches. This one does not match really, but I guess it doesn't look that bad, but it's way too big, I think. It's too long, but I mean, the colors don't even match. But a pretty little bow up here or some ribbon. I've even got a napkin that's got some little bumblebees on it. Could even put a bumblebee or two coming up here. I'm going to set that one aside a minute and let it dry. And let's see if we can get our little bunny rabbit on one of these. Now these are very thin, and they're the ornament size banner if you wanted to string a banner. Okay, so let's see if I can get him centered on here. I like the colors in the top of that for a sky. So I'm going to try to, I'll put that in my scrap bag and try to use it on something else. Okay, definitely want to make sure that I get all of the ears. Whoops, I need to separate it. We haven't separated that one. If you don't separate them, you get it all put down. When you start to put your final top coat of your Mod Podge or whatever medium you're using, the napkin will start lifting. So make sure you get all those off. Okay, let's see. I want to try to get as much of the rabbit on there as I can. But I also want some of these flowers. I mean, it's just too small to get all of his ears on there. And this one's a little bit bowed, so I will set something on top of it overnight. Making sure those edges are good and tight. But always check those edges. Don't want them coming up on you when you're putting that final coat on there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it pretty close to the egg, and then we'll sand it off. Okay, looks like it's all down pretty good. Okay, and again, just our emery board. Ideally, you would let this dry just a little bit longer before taking it off. Sometimes, be careful if your finger's holding it here, your thumb, because if it's still really, really wet and your finger is a little bit sticky, you're going to pull it up and tear it. Does anybody know if Hobby Lobby's paints are on sale this week or if it's next week? Let's go ahead and poke a hole. This will probably go, I have some very tiny easels, so I'm probably going to do several of these with the different little bunnies and put them in my bathroom. My bathroom is very springy, but look, instantly, you have such a pretty little egg. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if we've got enough birds here to do a bird one, a chick, little chickadees. Hi, Karen. Oh, 16 ounce. I hate that I missed that one. That would have been some great door prizes. All right, let me see what I've got here. Okay, I think I'm going to go with these middle two chicks because they're the egg, the pink egg is in that one. And we might cut one of these flowers and put a flower up here. Okay, so I'm going to draw just on the outside. And then I'll cut just a little more. Just to make sure that I have enough, and then we can sand it off. working my fingers, getting those plies off. Because I have forgotten to do that on more than one occasion and almost ruined my piece. A couple of them I did ruin. I had to throw the napkins away and just start completely over because I forgot to take the plies off. Okay, now this one is perfectly flat. It's not bowing at all. This one, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a bow right in the middle. So I definitely will have to put something on that to flatten it out. Okay, so a little Mod Podge. One of our instructors today in my class, she taught, I don't know if it was college level, high school level, I'm not sure, but she was an art teacher for many, many years. I think she's retired now. In fact, I know she is. But you could tell that she could just do anything painting-wise. All right, my handle just came off. So what I do, I put some E6000 in there and get it real good in there and then let it sit for a couple of days and then it is good to go. Some little yuckies in there. She did the ornament, the little teddy bear ornament. That's the one she taught. And for the entire piece, she used one brush. And there were all kinds of details in it. Floating, lining, stippling. She used a number 3 round for the whole thing. I think I had 10 brushes out that I was using, and it still didn't get the look she got. Okay, need a little more glue there. And that one's still pretty wet, so I'm going to dry it just a little bit. Let's see if we can get that wrinkle out a little. Okay, I'm going to poke through the hole. Probably, I don't know, I may put string in them, I'm not sure. I'm probably just going to use them on my easel. They would be cute on the tiny little easel on a tier tray. They would be cute as the O in a word. I'm going down and downward and across at the same time. Just making sure that I'm not going backwards, up. You don't want to lift that napkin up. Okay, so this one has dried a little bit. Let me lay my lid on there. I don't want that drying out. I'm going to take a little brush, a round brush, and see if I can maybe soften where that napkin is showing through. The little dots on the napkin. So let me grab some, I think cadmium yellow. It's going to need to be mixed up a little more. Stick fast, yes, I love the stick fast glue. Really like it. That's what I use to put my hangers on the back of my, I glue little hearts on the back, little wooden hearts, the thin, real thin like this, on the back of my pieces, and then I staple my ribbon or my jute in. And I use the stick fast to glue those little hearts on. Okay, so we're going to just do some doctoring up. I'm just going to put a little bit of that cadmium yellow. This is actually primary yellow. And I'm just going to camouflage a little bit. They're still going to show through a little, but this will soften it. Put a couple of coats on it, and I think we'll be good to go. I'm going to put just a little on these others to kind of pull them together. Now, if you remember when we did the bird and the bird nest, we did this. We kind of added some paint to the napkin. So I'm just kind of going, and I'm not just doing the right over the polka dots. I don't want it to look like I have yellow polka dots. So on these, I'm just kind of following the flower petal. Just where that yellow is. And I'm doing a little on the other flowers, so these don't just stand out like, ooh, what'd they do there? pretty much just where the darker yellow is. Okay. It looks better than it did with the polka dots showing completely through. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now we still have another step to do, but I need to let that dry. So let me hit that with a hairdryer right quick, and then we'll put our final coat on it. Want to make sure the paint's really dry. These little chicks are adorable. Now, this is, I may go back and put something on the back of it. I don't know. I think it really looks pretty good like that. It's almost got a stained look on it already since it's that MDF. But let's go ahead and put our top coat on. Now, you could spray seal this. I'm just going to Mod Podge right over it. You want to be careful and not go against where you have pieced in those napkins. You want to go out away from the edges on those. Now, if you've never Mod Podged before, it always goes on milky. Looks like milk. And your napkin may raise up just a little bit. See that it's kind of bubbling there, but it'll settle down. And I'm just barely rubbing it on. I'm not putting a lot of force to it. You just want to make sure that you get the edges. Let's see, I sold a rooster can with the rooster, and then the little bunny that we did, the bunny frame that we did, that one sold already. So I didn't get to keep those very long, which is good because I get attached. Do you ever do that? You paint or make something and you make yourself let go of it and then you kind of regret it afterwards? Okay, so I think we've gotten everything covered. If you don't seal these, first thing that happens if you get them wet or get water on them, they're going to peel up and they'll be ruined. Alright, so we're going to set this one aside, let it dry a minute, and then we'll add some, then we'll heat dry it and let it dry on its own for just a minute while we go over these. Those edges. Now these napkins came from Home Goods. And I just really like the colors in them. They're just very vibrant. Like this one, look at those flower colors. So pretty. We used to have a ton of rabbits in our backyard, and they always nested under our little our shed where we keep our lawnmowers in our building. And skunks moved in, and when the skunks moved in, the rabbits moved out. And I haven't seen any rabbits in a couple of years. Okay, let's put some heat on it and get them cleared up. Y'all be sure and watch for the pictures that I'll post after I get off here of the room and where we're going to be having our paint party. It's going to be so much fun. And I think right now, with everything in this world going on, we need a little bit of fun and relaxation just to get our minds off of everything. It's so hard because you just want to help so bad, and you feel so limited, as to what you can do. And praying our hearts out. Trying to attach to each other. My white thing that I paint on, I'm getting it so hot that it's bubbling up. Okay, let's put a little on this. Oh, now look how, alright you two, how vivid those colors are now. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And those little guys. So in under an hour, from start to finish, we've got 3 very cute little decorative. These would be really cute on a wreath. Different ones, put them around on a wreath. Gift bags also have really cute things that you can cut around and use to Mod Podge with. I'm leaving this blank up here because I'm probably going to put some kind of a bow or ribbon up there. Thank you. Peggy, you just checked the ad and the... Oh, okay, so the paint's on sale next week. Okay, so I've got to get quite a bit of paint, and I didn't want to make a trip out there if it's not on sale. I can wait. I don't have to have it. So while I'm waiting on that to dry, I've got to finish this guy in the next couple of days, put the last details on him. Lots of things learned on this one. A lot of shading techniques. Look around his beard, around his face, the darker gray on top of what I did. I haven't finished the fur on his hat yet. What else do I gotta do? Oh, the teddy bear needs to be finished. And this fur up here will have to have all the lighter colors put on it. That's a lot. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but the instructions were 2 full pages. So there are a lot of details in it. We could put it on whatever we wanted to, and I just happen to have the mittens already cut. Some of them had theirs on like cookie jars in metal cans. Look like a milk can. Alright, I'm going to take my brush, and where that had kind of bubbled up, press it down just a little. There we go. See how those colors are just popping now? One more thing I think I might do is put some little different colored flowers down here in the grass like we did the other night. So we could put, let's see, we could put pink. And we could put white. We could do pink and white. Well, let's see what that looks like. We'll just make some little dots. And this is dragon fruit, and then just some white. Okay, I'm just going to take my daughter, and you could use just the end, tip of your paintbrush, the wood end of it. And I'll let these dry really well, and then I'll put a little bit more Mod Podge. Okay, so I do like that. So I can do it upside down. Okay, now let's do some white. White always makes the color that you're using pop. Look at the difference, just that little bitty step made. Looks like some little bitty flowers all around in there. So I will let those dry really well, and we'll then put a little bit of Mod Podge over those to seal those good, and then I think we're good. Let me grab something right quick. Now this is pink, so you probably wouldn't want to use the pink, but just some kind of a ruffle around it. If I can get it going the right direction here, and turn it around for you. This is just one I had handy, the pink. Pink is not what I would go with, but just something to dress it up a little bit. You might want to go with more of a lace, more of maybe a sage green, so that it doesn't look little girl, like it's for a little girl's room, but something to just frame it out like that. Wouldn't that be pretty in the appropriate color? I like that. You could even do, if you were hanging them on a wall, you could use the two beside it to make a wall hanging out of it. There's just so many different things that you could do with it. But just to give you an idea, you could just, you know, glue that on the back of it, and you wouldn't see the rim. So you would glue it on the back, and you would have just your lace on there, or ruffle. So there you go. Pull you up here. Okay, so we've gotten 1, 2, 3 pieces in under an hour. Y'all know for me, that's saying something. Okay, I have not painted a sunflower yet. Everybody's painting sunflowers to help with just remembering Ukraine. And so I might do something with sunflowers in the next few. I've got a little chicken that I want to paint. But just to remind you, and if you will, please tell all of your other friends, here's what we'll be painting in the class that we're going to be doing. We've got these little cute little boxes. They are, let's see how big they are. I don't think I've even measured them. 9.5 by 6.5, and they're about 6 inches deep. So we'll be doing these in colors of your choice. I'll have all different colors there, and then we'll paint the 2 little terracotta pots that go in them. And we will be doing some Mod Podge with butterflies like we did tonight. So we've got all of that. I will have some door prizes. We're going to do some extra little, some little technique type things that we'll be doing. So I think it will definitely be worth it'll probably take about 3 hours, somewhere around in there. It'll start at 11, and we will just work through lunch. So everybody's going to be bringing their little snack lunch, whatever you want to bring, just to snack on, something to drink, and we'll just work right through so that we're not there all day long. We've got it till 4 o'clock, but we'll probably start cleaning up around 2:30, somewhere around in there, 2:33. If you finish before that and need to leave, that's fine as well. But if you want to stay there until 3 o'clock, 3:30, you're welcome to do that too, because we're all going to be just visiting and having a great time and sharing our ideas and maybe some business ideas if you have a business, and going to be getting each other's contact information, our pages, our emails, and we're just going to have a sit-down, fun painting time together. So if you have not already registered, go onto my website, youngatheartcreations.com. Click on events, and it will give you the information. Again, we will have door prizes. I will have a couple of items for sale on the sale table, and then you'll have your box. If I have any extra boxes, I'll bring those to sell so that you can get one if you want to do something else on it. There's just so many different things and uses that you could do them for. So we'll do that, and gonna have it, not gonna be decorating it like I did the live event because it's a smaller room, but I'll have everything. The only thing you need to bring is something for you to eat and drink, and bring your favorite brushes. I will have some brushes there, but you know, we all get used to our own brushes, and the brushes that I will have will be, you'll be able to use them, but I'll have to have them back. They're my paint party brushes, but bring yours also, and I will have everything else. You just need to come and have a great time, and we are looking so forward to it. I think I'm going to have a cutoff time, probably the 1st or 2nd week of April. And because I do have to have a cutoff time, I do need at least 10 to make it happen. So we've sold 3 tickets. So I have 3 registrations. I have about 5 more that are, oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry, I haven't done the registration yet. So I have several that are going to, but you know how we are. We always wait till the last minute. So, you know, go ahead and register so that you don't get left out. It is going to be so much fun. Can't promise what the weather will be doing. We may be making snowmen in between paint sessions. I don't know. I have seen it snow 6 inches here in April, so but hopefully it'll be nice and warm by then. The room is glassed in. We have a beautiful view outside, and it's just a relaxing little area to do something like this in. So I am super excited about it and anxious to meet you and paint with you, hopefully teach you some things, and hopefully learn from you, because I know you guys paint all the time. But come be with us. We want to meet you in person. And if you can't come, but you know somebody else that would enjoy this, that would be able to, but maybe can't afford it, you know, what a great gift. $35 and a great day of painting, and they get to take home items and meet some new friends and that are like-minded when we come to when it comes to painting. So I think it would be a great gift. What a good Mother's Day gift, a little early, but you know, and tell your hubby, I want a day out. You know, can you take off and keep the kids? And I want to go have a paint day. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tonight. It wasn't a ton of painting, but I think we did make something cute. And these napkins again are at Home Goods, and they're up by the registers. They were $6 a package, and there are a lot of napkins in them. So I will have packets of these at the event, the paint party, and I'm going to put a package, several packages together, and they'll be for sale for a very reasonable price. I won't lose any money on them, but I really won't make much money on them. But I want you to have some. They're just, the colors in them are just beautiful. And I would love for you to have some of them. I got another follower today, so I am 25 away from 700 followers. Once I hit that 700, I'll be sending out some happy mail. So we're almost there. Thank you so much. So please don't forget to sprinkle the video out, and it's definitely time for me to go. I'm about to lose my voice again, but I hope you enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much. If you have any questions about the paint party, please don't hesitate to private message me, and I will answer all your questions. I am so anxious to see you and get to paint with you. All right, girls, you have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging in with me. Bye-bye.